Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Arbour Park, a wet and damp Arbour Park, as Slough prepare to take on Worthing in the National League South. They find themselves in a patchy run of form through the Rebels, and they really could use a result today against a Worthing side that have been in vicious form for several weeks now and are aiming for the top of the table. It will be a real challenge for Slough as they look to bounce back from Tuesday night's 1-0 defeat at St Albans City. My name is Cairo Evans. I'm alongside Gary Thomas for the afternoon, bringing you live commentary of Slough versus Worthing from Arbour Park. Let's give you the teams first and foremost, and each side made 3 changes apiece. 3 changes. We'll start with the home side, of course. 3 changes for the Rebels as Lewis Michio, Spasov and Scott Davis, the player manager, come in. Dropping out and onto the bench is Josh Jackman and Francis Amate, and dropping out the squad entirely is Dan Roth, who took a hit in that midweek game. So Slough team in full then: in goal, Charlie Horlock, Lewis Michio, Eden Pruti, Dan Bayliss, Jean-Marc Prosper, Slavi Spasov, John Gilbert, Scott Davis, Henry Ochieng, Johnny Goddard and David Obona. On the Slough Town bench is Josh Jackman, Francis Amati, Ollie Spicer, Sam Evans and Jack Timberlake. And the Worthing lineup then, they've made 3 changes also, with Tommy Willard coming in alongside Ruben Carvalho and O'Day Martin Sorondo. Dropping out for Worthing, dropping out for Worthing I should say, is Mo Fowl, Nick Wheeler and Glenn Rea. Nick Fowl and Wheeler onto the bench. So that Worthing team in full then, off the back of that 2-2 draw against Torquay midweek, is Chris Hay, Joe Cook, Joe Partington, Sam Beard, Jack Spong, O'Day Martin Sorondo, the captain Joel Corbran, Ruben Carvalho, Tommy Willard, Liam Nash, Danny Cashman, and then on the bench for Worthing it's Mo Fowl, Nicky Wheeler, Temi Babalola, Cam Tutt and Sam Packham. Here's Horlock all the way back, the Slough keeper, who can launch it downfield. We've played 3 minutes, the game yet to really find its shape, but Slough trying to put some pressure on their opponents, and Obona wins it on the far side. Obona will put it in the middle, Spasov! Oh, that should have been a goal! Spasov denied by Hay, a big opening for Slough from just a few yards out, and the Bulgarian striker knows he should have done better.
Spasov now just looking to play in Goddard down that left-hand side, but the assistant referee's flag on that far side has gone up for an offside. It will be a free kick to Worthing.
They take it nice and quickly, and here's Jack Spong. Oh, and it's lost, and Gilbert wins it. Gilbert in the box, Gilbert shoots, Gilbert finds the bottom corner. The midfielder arrived on the scene like a lion, won the ball back and then tucked it home. Slough lead after 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's another example there of that high overturn of the ball from Slough. It's proven to be decisive there. Just allow Gilbert just to get the ball in the middle of the pitch on the edge of the area. Just took a little touch to the right hand side and a calm finish into the bottom corner. Just left Chris Hay flat-footed there. Couldn't really do anything about it, the keeper, as he was just left stranded there by his outfield players losing the ball on the edge of the box. But that triggered press from Slough has been proving really useful for them in these opening stages. And it's decisive there as it leads to the opening goal of the afternoon. Just quickly, another couple of goals in and around National League South. Dorking Wanderers obviously chasing Worthing towards the top end of the table, have taken the lead away at Welling.
Here come Worthing though, looking to equalise here, and that's a great save by the keeper, just denied immediately the save at the back post. It was Tommy Willard in behind, and a big save by the foot of Horlock, but still Worthing come. Ball comes in, could be loose at the back post, somehow the ball slid across the Slough box without anyone touching it. Slough fighting for every ball here, very much looking up for it. But the Rebels in red certainly finding their voice now. But they give the ball away, not for the first time. Michio down the left-hand side finds Goddard. He just about keeps it in play. Goddard with that little reverse pass to Spasov. Spasov down the left. This is nice. Spasov goes down in the box. He wants a penalty, and the referee is not interested at all. What do you say, Gary? It's not 25 yards, a bit further than that.
27.
About 27, 28 yards. I shouldn't have set you up like that. Scott Davis preparing. Scott Davis is thinking about it, and so is Gilbert. Both stood over the ball. Both can create some danger from this range. Davis just whipping the ball over the crossbar, and the goalkeeper Chris Hay not too worried as the ball flew over his head. Just was it 1 clean sheet in 15 for Slough, so they won't be getting overly confident. Also, I say 2 clean sheets in the last 16, I should say. There's a mistake at the back. Spasov could be in here. Spasov's trying to win the ball back. Keeper's on the ground, but it just won't happen for him at the moment. Ochieng briefly won it back. but mistakes at the back for Worthing. Spasov essentially through on goal, just couldn't get the shot away. Down goes Ogbonna, about 25 yards at this time, and it's another free kick to Slough, who are capitalising on every, well, almost capitalising on every Worthing mistake. 12 goals this season for Spasov. Knows where the net is, it's just not quite coming for him at the moment, but a long way to go. And it's once again Davis and Gilbert stood over this free kick. About 5 minutes on from the last one. Davis put the last one over the bar. This one's slightly closer. Here comes Davis again. This is decent. It's more than decent. It's an absolute brilliant free kick from Scott Davis, who puts it beyond Hay. And Slough have established a 2-0 lead in 24 minutes. What a start for the home side.
I mean, the daft thing is that that's not even exceptional for Davis. It's you come to expect it of a player that does that so frequently. Instep of his right foot, just bent it around the left-hand side of the wall into Chris Hay's left corner, nestled nicely in the back of the net. But you just see it happen so often from Slough's number 14 that you almost come to expect it now. And when he doesn't hit the target, that's when you're disappointed. But yeah, fantastic start this afternoon for Slough. Certainly not one that I would have predicted before the game, but yeah, they find themselves 2-0 up as we're entering into the 25th minute here at Arbour Park. Yeah, in fairness to Davis, I don't think he does tap-ins because he's normally further back. It's either he's going up for a set piece or he's scoring from his own half or the halfway line.
Gilbert puts the ball in the box. Headed away, Goddard might pick it up, he's going to get it, and he puts it in behind for Michio. Slough on the attack again, in it comes! And Spasov with a little flick at the near post. That's just denied from really good defending. Could have been 3 there. Could have been 3-0 to Slough. Just playing the ball around in the centre of the Slough half. They're not really doing too much to threaten the Rebels at the moment. But here is that pass by Martin Sobrano was looking for, cut out by Pruti, appeals for handball. The referee's not interested, and Slough's going to clear their lines. And eventually he's smashed away by Bayliss. Ogbonna's headed the ball on for himself. Look at the speed he shows on the far side. He's kept it in, Ogbonna, and he's slung the ball towards the back post. Spasov! It's free! And this is becoming a masterclass by Slough Town. The clock hasn't even hit half an hour yet, and they are 3-0 up, and Spasov finally takes his chance. Where did this come from? From Scott Davis's men.
And that is almost turning into a signature Slavy Spasov goal, a back post header. I mean, what pace though in there. You know, we touched on David Ogbonna before the game. He's getting onto his own flick-ons there, just down that right-hand side. Just a long ball that he flicks on himself, just burns that pace down that right-hand side, throws the ball into the back post. Slavy Spasov with the diagonal run from front to back, and then with a header just over the head of Chris Hay. 3-0 Slough, 30 minutes gone. I would not have predicted this in a million years. With the greatest of respect to Scott and his team, what a fantastic first 30 minutes from Slough.
What a cross that was by Ogbonna. That was about surely one of Ogbonna's best moments of the season there. So that's Partington and Beard, 2 of Worthing's defence now booked. That's not their biggest issue though. Their biggest issue is they're 3-0 down and really not playing particularly well.
Yeah, and in fairness, it looks like David Ogbonna has got Beard in a real issue over on that left-hand side of Worthing's defence, obviously on a yellow card now as well.
Davis and Ocheng back from this free kick, but it's going to come into the box now. It's a good ball. It's Eden Pruti. He's just flicked it past the post. The flag went up. Wouldn't have counted.
No, in fairness, I think the referee's been doing particularly well this afternoon. They're just calling back the play. No advantage there after Michio had just been taken out, just with a body block just beyond the halfway line. Although Scott Davis is taking this just inside the Slough half on this near touch line to us.
Long it goes from Davis towards the back stick. Headed away eventually. It's going to fall for... Oh, it's just wide. Bono whacking the ball through the edge of the box. And Chris Hay was worried.
He's just at the feet of Chris Hay now, and he's again just going to go long. It's probably been Worthing's most effective form as Davis's header there falls out the feet of Danny Cashman, tries to loop one over the top of Charlie Horlock, but can't quite get that distance right, and it's gone over the top of the bar. A little bit of a let off there for Slough, as we will have 3 additional minutes at the end of this first half.
Got a feel for the Worthing fans. It's been a long trip here. What can they produce? Gary did mention we had a 4-3 earlier in the season. The last 8 times these two sides have played, both sides have scored. And Worthing will back themselves. You don't get to second in the league by February by mistake, and they're in behind here. Babalola, the half-time substitute, is in, and that's a big save from Horlock. Was he caught by Bayliss? The Worthing players want a penalty or at least a free kick. The referee instead points to the corner flag. Horlock having to make his save. 2 minutes into the second half. Babalola almost scoring. Nicky Wheeler, the sub, just having to go back to Beard, and then actually I'll just bring you that Slough team then. Slough unchanged as Wheeler comes forward. He's got past Prosper and he's space to run into. Down the left he goes. Ocheng will chase him back. Wheeler inside and a bit of space here for Cashman, but Gilbert wins it off him brilliantly. Great defending from John Gilbert to swoop in and nick the ball. That Slough team in full then. Charlie Horlock in goal. Lewis Michio, Edon Pruti, Dan Bayliss, Jean-Marc Prosper, Slavi Spasov, who scored 1, John Gilbert, who scored 1, Scott Davis, who scored 1, Henry Ochieng, Johnny Goddard, and David Ogbonna. Bringing the subs in just a second, but Wheeler, active in this second half, takes a shot, and Horlock has to knock it away from his near post. Slough still yet to use any of their cards, and you understand why. Well, one reason is that most of their players on the bench are attacking players. But then if Scott Davis wants to introduce some more experience, he has got the very experienced Josh Jackman not far away from his 300th Slough appearance. As Gilbert wins it over on the far side, and Slough can break here. There's players in the box. Gilbert in the box now as well. Tucks it back for Ochieng, and his shot right into the hands of the keeper.
You know, is progressing more and more into the Slough half. They're quite happy to leave it player for player on Spasov now, just with one-on-one at the back. So it might be something that Slough can capitalise on.
Given the scoreline, there is a weird tension in the area as Babalola gets in behind here. Babalola's in, and his shot is smuffled by Edon Pruti. Brilliant defending, but the second time now Babalola's got in behind, denied by the Slough defender.
Yeah, just able to make those runs in and finding that space there, being able to get in behind, but it has gone out for a Worthing corner, just on this left-hand side.
And that is why we have the tension, because Worthing are a team capable of scoring. And there's still just under half an hour to go here. Slough will know they still have a job to do. So building that brilliant first half. Corner into the box, headed out. There's a good volley, a really lovely volley, I think, by Jack Spong, but held on to by the keeper. Right down his throat, but a nice connection from the midfielder. And then Jackman, Bayliss and Prosper, and Michio and Edon Pruti. He knows he has defenders who can see this one out. Pass goes back to the keeper for Worthing. They're playing it short, they're taking risks, and the shot eventually comes from Michio, deflected, and the keeper couldn't keep it in play. So what I think is the first time in this half, Slough do now have a corner as they relieve some of the pressure off their shoulders.
Today's match official, Nathan Oakes, just trying to put an early stop to it here with 18 or so minutes of normal time left.
7th yellow card he's shown today. Otherwise, he's really let the game flow, and the game has flown fantastically since the first second. Brilliant tackle that by Jean-Marc Prosper on the halfway line. As Gilbert finds Ogbonna out on the right-hand side. Is there one more goal in this? What a great cross that is! It's Spasov, and it's in! It's a 4th goal for Slough Town! It's a 2nd goal for Slavi Spasov, and surely that'll be the cherry on top of this cake for the Rebels. They have fought hard, they've defended hard, and they have their rewards. 4-0.
It's really sort of broken that momentum that Worthing were building. Quite how Worthing allowed him so much time and space at the back end of that 6-yard box as well. Haven't had a couple of touches there just to get it under control. Probably the first touch wasn't perhaps the best, but managed to get it in and away from Chris Hay into that near post corner from where the cross came in. 4-0 Slough.
You mentioned that win at Enfield back in August. That was the last time Spasov scored twice in the game. He's done it again today. Having missed those chances, he really had to pick his head up, and he has done that. 2 for him, 4 for Slough, and if you're not in the stadium, the 783 people in the stadium, as was just announced, you won't believe the scoreline. This is incredible from Slough.
And just a comment in there, Richie Rebel, is it just my flash score that's saying 3-0 rather than 4? No, it's showing the same on mine. It is definitely 4-0 to Slough.
It could be 5. Amati now on the edge of the box. Amati evades his man and he gets the shot all wrong as he takes it past the post with a slow and low and unthreatening shot. But yeah, even the subs now, Ollie Spicer, Sam Evans all linking up there. Amati in the box. They've got plenty of energy. They want to punish Worthing even more. Here comes Slough again. It's down the right now with Timberlake. Timberlake's going to put the ball in. It's not a bad ball. And it's headed away. Ocheng, 30 yards out, flings it across, trying to find Amati, and then Gilbert with a vicious volley that has just dipped past the post. That could have been the goal of the day, but just wide. Chris Hay goes short. That has been the theme of the game. Worthing going to try and play it out. Slough get their bodies back. Just seconds away from now from that precious clean sheet. There's been so few recently. There is the full-time whistle, and it brings to an end a Slough masterclass. They've got everything right today. Scott Davis cannot possibly be more happy than what he's seen. A brilliant performance, perhaps Slough's best this season. John Gilbert opened the scoring nice and early. Second goal, a brilliant free kick from Scott Davis to make it 2. Slavy Spasov then got number 3 and number 4 either side of half-time, both assisted by the brilliant David O'Connor. They've been in some dodgy form recently, have Slough, but they've really turned up the heat today on this cold afternoon in Berkshire, and they've made Worthing pay. A brilliant performance and a fantastic result. Slough Town 4, Worthing 0.